your mystic, and your spiritual informant. And today I want to shed some light upon why empaths are so heavily targeted by dark witches, by dark entities, by sorcery. And this has a lot to do with the capacity that empaths have to access, to hold, and to transmute energy. Essentially, a lot of people think of empaths as just people who are very sensitive and they can feel a lot of other people's energy. And that is true, but that is just a very basic understanding of what it means to be an empath. When someone is an empath, that essentially means that that person is an energy conduit. And so a lot of people who say, oh, I'm so empathic, I just feel everybody's energy, that means that you are not fully tapped into your gifts and your powers as an empath, because part of our power as an empath is not just to be a sponge for everybody's energy. Our job as empaths is to be a conduit for energies to come through. And when those energies that come through are negative, a part of the superpowers that empaths have is a strong ability to transmute negative energy into positive energy. So in a lot of ways, empaths are like generators. Energy filters through them, and then they get to decide what they do with that energy. And so essentially the main reason that empaths are so heavily targeted by dark sorcerers and by dark entities is because of the amount of energy that they can hold, process, and be filtered through them. So I've always talked about how the body is a portal. And I mean that 100% literally. Like, there is constantly energies filtering through the body on a daily basis. And we know this on a basic level, right? Because when the sun shines, we receive those sun rays. We filter the energy of sunshine, and what we create vitamin D in the body. Our melanin is activated through the sunshine, right? So we know that we are constantly filtering energies through us: sunshine, the energy of food, the energy of water, right? And then when we ground and we touch our feet to the grass, we're filtering the energy of the earth through us. So we know on a basic level that the body is a conduit for energy. And so it's really important for us to understand just how powerful we are. And as we learn to use energy more intentionally, we can become so much more powerful against baneful witchcraft. Because essentially all witchcraft is a situation where someone using your ability to process energy against you. So as you learn to use it for your betterment, then you will be in a better position to ward off negative attacks against your abilities. So essentially the idea is that when it comes to dark witches, dark sorcerers, the idea is that they want to be able to have access to as much energy as possible, to as much light energy as possible. Why? Because light powers things up, which is also why we can charge our crystals and charge our own energy in the light of the sun and the light of the moon. So light energy is the literal sort of power source of life, which is why plants grow through what? Sunlight and photosynthesis, which is a process of them filtering and eating sunlight energy. All of this is very scientific, right? So when it comes to dark entities and dark sorcerers, they need a light source to power their work. And especially when it comes to dark entities of the underworld, because essentially the idea is that the further that you go into the dark, the less access to light that you have. And so instead of cultivating themselves, elevating themselves, and evolving themselves so that they can have their own access to light source and light power, they use other people as filters. And so this is where empaths come in. Empaths are used as energy filters, so that when we are dealing with situations of energy harvesting, lots of people talk about energy harvesting and about the process of people's energy being stolen, but very rarely do they talk about the reasons behind this and where the energy is going. And essentially, your energy is going to the underworld. Your energy is going to dark witches who don't have access to light power and to light source. And so our light is literally being used and abused. When it comes to entities of the underworld, these are entities that are so far removed from higher vibrations that they are literally in the underbelly of existence. If you have ever been to the underworld, either through your dreams or through a portal of any sort, usually you will see it in your dreams when you have nightmares, when you have dark dreams. You are essentially in the underworld. And so, if you have gone to the underworld in your dreams, one of the things that you will know is that there is literally no light there. I mean, literally, you look around and it's just dark. It seems like it's nighttime, or you are in a dark room, a dark house, a cave, any dark space where the light does not touch, right? You will also know that you are in the underworld, because if you are like me, I've been in the underworld and I will notice the lights are off in here. And so I will go around looking for a light. If you try to find a light switch in the underworld, the lights will not come on because the underworld has no light. And once I began to track where my energy is going, what I essentially noticed and figured out was that my energy was being used to bring light to the underworld. And so trust me when I say I began then to include in my prayers that my energy will not be used to fuel any places in the underworld. I was calling my energy back from the underworld and from dark entities that was using my energy, placing cords into my energy body, especially the spine, and especially the solar plexus, in order to bring energy to their spaces. And the thing about that is that energy is a two-way streak. So if your energy is being pulled to the underworld, guess what? Energies from the underworld are being magnetized to you. And so if you feel that there are a lot of dark entities and energies around you, this is likely because there is a cord between you and the underworld, where your energy is being used to fuel something in that place in space. And so perhaps I'm going to do a whole separate video on how to use empathic gifts properly. And I may make a part 2 to this video if people are interested in going deeper into this topic. I hope that this video was helpful. Of course, if you need a reading about any spiritual situation in your life, I would be happy to assist you. Tap in with your spirit guides and your angels, your ancestors, to bring insight and guidance to you in your situation. If you enjoy these conversations that we have on the YouTube, please know that on the Patreon, we go so much deeper. So please feel free to join us on the Patreon. There are 3 different tiers that you can join on the Patreon, and that is for lectures and for book resources. Then there is another tier for lectures and rituals and resource. And then the top tier is for lectures, resources, rituals, and readings, workshops, and so much more. So there's a lot of good things happening on the Patreon for wherever you are on your spiritual development journey. Look forward to seeing you all potentially at the Patreon. If not, I will for sure see you all at the next video. Peace and blessings be upon you. Ashe.